All right, here we are, day 30. My car's light is on, my car's fuel light is on. I made this really weird rig for my camera in the car, and I'm really hoping that it's going to stick around. Day 30. How do I feel? Let me tell you, I feel great that I'm going to get a coffee right now, an actual coffee. And I can't believe I actually made this until day 30. Yeah, I don't know how I made it to day 30 without coffee, and it's gonna be interesting to see how I go, how it tastes, because I still feel it like it's potentially coursing through my veins. I actually don't love this coffee shop, but it's the closest one to where I am right now. So can't wait, dude. I'm gonna pump some tunes as well. I'm gonna dance to these tunes. This is what it looks like when I'm driving around with that music on. So the person in front just noticed my camera rigged up in my front seat, and they're like, what is that? It's like, Eamon, why don't you just get an action camera? But no, I instead rig up my A7 III. Hey, can I please get a grande soy cappuccino?
Yeah.
How many shots are in the grande?
Standard with one, but most people get 2 or 3.
Yeah, can I get 2? Come standard with 1 shot? Like, what is happening? What is happening in the world? 1 shot of coffee? Like, who gets 1 shot of coffee? Like, I just don't know anybody that gets 1 shot of coffee. That's just horrible that they do that to you. So they force you to actually get an extra shot. Because they know that nobody's gonna get 1 shot of coffee. Nobody's even noticed that I have a camera rig up in my car, and they have now. Yes, they have now. Probably not the weirdest thing people have seen. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
That's all sorted for you.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, cheers, mate. You bloody champion, eh? I can smell it. Just gonna show you what I got to start with. I have a little bit of a sip, a little sippy Sue. Who's Sue, you ask? I don't know, okay? I'm just hyped that I have a coffee right now. Is it illegal to film while driving? I don't know. Am I an addict, you say? I'm not an addict, okay? Oh, baby. Wow, that's actually gnarly. All right, so you did this ultimate 30-day challenge. So now I'm gonna go through the last week and how the last week was. And then, did I regret it? Did I enjoy it? What did I learn from it? What could you learn from doing something like this? Whole bunch of goodness. And here's the police. Let's see if you can see them out the window. Oh, don't know what she was doing. So yeah, exercising every day. That's been awesome, honestly, and definitely helping with everything else, like having no coffee, having no alcohol, like eating 1 meal a day. Like I definitely go for a walk immediately after I have my last meal, because I noticed that gets me out of this kind of food coma-esque thing that I kind of go into. And if I allow myself to go into that without walking off my lunch/dinner, then I definitely become very unproductive and dive into this slump, and not a whole lot happens for pretty much the rest of the afternoon. So that's been good to just kind of integrate small exercise and intense exercise every single day. Am I gonna have a rest today? Yes, okay, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to having a chill day and not exercising. But actually, now that I'm in the routine of it, like I'm kind of keen to hit arms today, This is the bad part about this, is that, I don't really know exactly which one of these things has done what. They all have their different measurements and they all do different things. So if I had to guess, I'm definitely leaner than I have been for a long time. I'm definitely lacking some muscle mass, but that's because of the whole thing that's going on. So I can't wait for the gym to open up again. Really looking forward to that, so that I can gain some of that muscle mass back. So yeah, I'm definitely the leanest I've been in a long time, and I couldn't attribute that to one particular thing. If I had to, obviously it's definitely exercising and the whole 1 meal a day thing. There's different studies that show that, eating 1 meal a day, or, having a smaller eating window is not beneficial to fat loss directly. But, having done it for basically a month straight, I definitely think that it has contributed. But, this is just one experience. This is just one person's experience. So 1 meal a day, exercising every day, really enjoy that. I think I'm going to continue doing that, especially given my current routine and just how my life actually works. It just suits my lifestyle. the downside is that I can't eat too much, you know, because if I eat too much, then yeah, I go into coma mode and basically fall asleep. But you know, again, there's a lot of upsides. It saves me a lot of time. That's the main thing. It saves me time. You know, I'm happy to be strict on it, but I'm also looking forward to, you know, basically when I'm at my friend's house on a Friday night or something, and they're like, hey, do you want a drink? Instead of me being like, nah, I finished eating like 4 hours ago, and they're like, why can't you just have one drink? It's like one time in a week. Now I can be like, yes, I'll have that drink. And that leads me on to the alcohol thing. So alcohol, not doing that for a month. How did that go? Well, pretty good. As I mentioned at the start there, like it wasn't really a huge thing for me anyway. And not having events to go to, this whole kind of thing that's going on has minimized all the events and outings that are possible. So it definitely made it easier in that regard that I'm not going out hanging out with a bunch of different friends, but I did hang out with different friends on Fridays and Saturdays and, you know, the boys and whatnot. I did find myself in a few social situations where, you know, people offered me a drink and I had to say no, I had to say why, and then I had to tell them why, and they're like, yeah, that's cool, but also just have a drink. And I'm like, yeah, it's just 1 month though, you know? So that social pressure it's definitely a thing. And it's really weird. People just get really weird when you're not drinking for some reason. Even though like some people like immediately backed off when I told them that it was for this, because there's like a higher purpose to it. So they're like, oh man, that's cool, I respect that. But some people are like, what? That's stupid, just drink. You know, you win some and you lose some. And it's just so interesting how weird people get when you tell them that you're not drinking. So I just kind of found my way to just say no thanks or whatever. You know, if I didn't know the people as well. So am I looking forward to having a drink? I guess so. But it's not really the biggest thing in my life. And I'm not like dying to go and have a bevy, you know? Not dying for it. Traffic light, sip of coffee, you say? Yes, I do say. So moving on to the next thing is journaling every single day. And this has probably been the underdog for me, honestly. Like, I definitely knew the benefits of journaling and I've watched some videos on it before and whatever, but I've never actually consistently journaled for a long period of time. It was pretty funny how it kind of came about for me to actually journal. And so I had done it like, you know, a handful of times previous to starting this challenge. And then I was like, why don't I just throw that in there? But I think I am actually going to continue this every day, if not most days. And it's just a crazy self-awareness tool. I might have mentioned it already, but you know, you're just able to kind of throw up all of the thoughts that are going around in your mind. So instead of these thoughts just like manifesting and turning into something bigger, you can actually just write them down, get them out of your brain. And then, you know, as you're opening the page to write in for the next day, you just see, like, oh yeah, that's right, I was thinking that yesterday. But I haven't been thinking about it again because I kind of got it out and I wrote it down. Look, my writing is messy, dude. My writing is not pretty, let me tell you that. But that aside, like, you know, no one's gonna see it, so it doesn't matter. That's right, even if someone does come across my ancient diary, they won't even be able to read it. Take that. But yeah, that element of actually just writing it down. And, you know, similarly to the rest of the things, like, I can't wait to not do it today and possibly even tomorrow. But I'm in a routine now where, like, I do it, you know, at work, and I do it in particular times where it's like, I've kind of integrated into my routine. So it is easy to do. Like, I've taken away all of the barriers to actually do it. So, and I'm seeing the benefits of it, you know? So I don't write a whole lot, just a small page of a small notebook, but I think I'm going to continue this one because it's been the most surprising, and I just feel like I have kind of less thoughts on a day-to-day basis. But again, it's kind of hard to measure that's that thing because I'm also doing 30 minutes of meditation every day. So how did that go? So 30 minutes of meditation a day. Again, look, I've experimented with this for many years, but never really been able to do it consistently. And, you know, again, as I mentioned last week, like, I missed a day or two, and that's okay. Like, I'm not gonna be crazy about it because I was doing 7 different things rather than, you know, if I was just doing the one thing, I would be much more strict about actually doing it every single day. But there's a couple of days where I just didn't find time to do it. But, you know, similarly, I'm using this Dr. Joe Dispenza meditation, and I just love it. It asks you a bunch of different questions during the meditation, which basically gets you to kind of envision your future and gives you a vision of the future. And then you kind of feel what that future version would be like. So it's kind of like manifesting, but also self-awareness, like who are you being today and whatnot. Anyway, I can link that down below, or if I don't, like, be sure to hit me up about it, because I think it's a paid meditation, but it's one of the best meditations I've done. There was a few days in there where I didn't do that one, and I actually just did some on Insight Timer. And if you don't know what that is, it's a free one, and there's like, I don't know, thousands and thousands of free meditations on Insight Timer. So if you're looking for a meditation app, definitely check out Insight Timer. It's a little bit weird to function, to use, and there's definitely some meditations in there that are like really woo-woo that I'm like, oh, I just can't get around it. It's a little bit too crystally for me, not bashing any of that, but it just doesn't really align with where I'm at. But there's some good guided ones in there, and I definitely made an effort to do some days just without that at all. I just did 30 minutes just straight up, and that was obviously the hardest one, because there wasn't anything to just continuously bring you back to the moment. Again, I really have enjoyed the 30 minutes of meditation a day, and I think it's had some amazing benefits. I definitely feel, and again, this is no doubt a combination of many different things, potentially all of the different things, but I feel much more clear and present. I'm just here, I'm not tired because of the no caffeine, although I probably will have a dip. I definitely notice you get this boost and then you definitely get the dip. So without caffeine, my body's kind of finally adapted. I'm sure if I went another 30 days, I could see even more benefits. But I just decided to do 30 for now. And I really think that I'll continue on that green tea life. I'm really enjoying that, and just have it when I need it, or just have it on the weekend. I think that would be a nice little treat. I definitely have the clearest skin I've had in a long time. I had some pretty bad food last weekend, and that definitely affected everything. But generally, I feel like my skin, with no caffeine, it's much cleaner and smoother. But yeah, overall, I just have more consistent energy throughout the day. I wake up and I'm just awake. Like, I do a bit of stretches in the morning, but I don't need 3 instant coffees to punch me in the face and tip all over me to actually just wake up. So I'm really enjoying that. And as benefits go, a lot of the people that do these challenges, I definitely agree with this one. One of the most, it definitely has the most obvious benefits. Oh, babe. The final thing was the low dopamine. Now, as I mentioned in the last few weeks, this was a great idea, but I didn't go as strict as I could have done on an actual dopamine fast. So I'll be interested to try a true dopamine fast as such. I think I'll do it when I'm not actually at work, or when I'm not actually dealing with clients, because as I said, I'm literally dealing with computers all day, every day. So it's really hard, because it's kind of you can never really have a complete dopamine fast. It's definitely going to only be kind of partial, because I'm literally using all the different social medias for my job, being a marketer and a video producer. So I am actually in a relatively high dopamine. I'm on that high dopamine life, yo. I wouldn't say I failed on this one, but I just didn't do it as deep as I could have. Yeah, so it was a little bit silly. Look, did it help? Maybe. Okay. Do I miss music? Yes. Has it been a little bit boring driving around, without music a lot of the time? Yes. But it's also been kind of peaceful. And I only do that when I'm not listening to audiobooks or podcasts. And I've never had this little amount of podcasts and audiobooks to listen to in the last 2 years, because I'm just smashing through them all. So that's a huge benefit, because I think I finished 3.5 audiobooks, and God knows how many podcasts in that time. When I'm at home, when I am just chilling, and when I'm in the gym, I'm just listening to an audiobook, and instead of listening to it on 1.5 speed, I'll just listen to it on normal speed. So I definitely consumed more self-development content than I would have if I was listening to music. And when I'm not, just enjoying more silence, which I definitely don't have enough of in my life. Just driving around and just kind of, listening to the beautiful hum of my engine. Just gets me ready for the day, So overall, the low dopamine thing is pretty good, but I cannot wait to listen to music. I'm going to whack someone in a bit. Hopefully my Siri's set up. Otherwise, it's going to be one more disappointing drive until I get home. So I think I did okay on that. Out of all of them, that was by far the hardest, mostly because I didn't kind of set particular rules, and also the whole lifestyle thing, Okay, so overall review of this whole thing. Was it worth it? Yes, I think so. I've never put myself through a challenge like that in my life, and I thought it was just going to be a walk in the park. But up until about day 10, I was having a horrible time, and it was a real challenge. I was not being productive, and not really getting through a lot of the things I needed to get through. And I really just thought it was going to be easy, and I was dead wrong. I was dead wrong on that. So it was definitely a challenge. Going back to initially, the reason I actually did this was because most of the challenges that I see people do, they just don't seem that challenging. So I really think that doing a lot of the things they do, like no caffeine for 1 month, like if I was just doing that, it'd be so easy compared to what I did in this video. So my goal was to actually challenge myself, and I did that, which was good. So would I recommend it? Look, if you have the time and space and you're disciplined and you're not going to get stressed out and you're able to actually force yourself to kind of do this, or if you have a good reason for doing this, maybe you want to really reset in your life and just see where you're at, it's going to help you do that. So I would recommend it. Make sure that you're actually kind of monitoring where you're at with it all, because there are times in there where I was like, this is just stupid. Why am I doing this thing for a YouTube video, which not many people are even going to watch, So, and filming it was actually the thing that forced me to actually keep it up and continue with it. Yeah, just be careful if you're going to do it. Really, make sure you have some self-awareness. Check in with yourself. Maybe have a few people that you're telling that you're doing this, because it's not really super easy, and it's like just a weird challenge that a lot of people, everyone's going to be like, why are you doing that? That's silly. So I would recommend it if you're the type of person to give this a crack. Maybe try one of the things first, and then maybe try some of the other things, or maybe just try a handful, like 2 or 3. What did I regret? Well, it was definitely the not refining the rules enough for the low dopamine thing. I definitely could have done a better job on that. But as this is like my first actual 30-day challenge, when a lot of people kind of have multiple of them, I'm okay with that. I'm not going to be too hard on myself. Just refining the rules, perhaps being in a place which would have facilitated making this a little bit easier, might have been better as well. But instead I just dived into doing it while I had a crazy lifestyle. Like here I am filming this video while I'm driving around. So in wrapping up, overall, what did I get out of it? Well, I was able to challenge myself, and I like that aspect of it. It was much more of a challenge than I thought it was going to be. So that was kind of awesome, because I haven't really challenged myself in this particular way really ever, but in quite a while, since the Matterhorn hike. So it's good to see just what I was capable of. That was a huge part of it, to see that it was actually possible, and to see what all the hype was about. As I said, like part of the reason I did this was because so many people are making videos about doing these challenges, and I wanted to see what all the hype was about. So it was definitely worth it to actually challenge myself, to see that I was capable of doing all these different things, to really force myself to focus in on some of the benefits of all these different things. So that kind of leads me into what I'm going to continue. And honestly, I think I'm going to continue all of it. I definitely won't be as strict as doing it every single day. I've definitely noticed the benefits of each individual thing. And I think having that self-awareness, kind of seeing me, chase dopamine pleasure and being able to step back, like that's obviously going to be the hardest one to continue. But pretty much all these different things, like having exercise and meditation, like I think these are really important things to integrate into your everyday, having a diary, eating in a shorter window, cutting back on caffeine if you don't need it. Just all of these different things, they kind of definitely add up. And honestly, we should be kind of practicing these things on a day-to-day basis, at least slowly or in some aspect, or at least being aware of all these different things on a day-to-day basis. So I'll definitely be continuing this stuff where possible. I'm really looking forward to giving myself a couple of days off, not being strict on it for a few days. And hopefully that doesn't just make me slip back into old habits. This coffee is definitely running straight through me, so I've got to finish this video up about now. But yeah, I hope you got something out of this. I hope you had a bit of a laugh watching me struggle through this experience. And I do wonder if you agree or not. I think a lot of the challenges out there, they're just not actually that challenging, and I don't want to take away from them. Every person is different, but after doing a month of this, I think I could pretty easily do at least a month of any of these one individual things and do it a bit more strict, be really strict with it. So as for overall benefits, just being more present, being more self-aware, having less thoughts on a day-to-day basis, being more clear and focused, and not having to put in that much more effort to actually be focused. I'm definitely more productive, more social, less in my own head. I'm sleeping a bit better because I'm exercising every day. I'm noticing my body just functions a little bit better. Pretty much everything is kind of like, I don't know, maybe this is how normal should be, you know? I don't know, but I've definitely noticed huge benefits from it. And I really appreciated that I actually decided to do this challenge. I don't know if I'll be in a rush to actually do another one in the near future, just because it took up so much time in my month. But I did get a noticeable amount more things done than perhaps I would have. And yeah, I have been more motivated and just I have more energy on a day-to-day basis. So that was really interesting to see and actually give this a go for myself. This is obviously entirely anecdotal. This is just one person's experience, so take from it what you will. I hope you got some enjoyment out of this. And yeah, let me know in the comments below kind of what you thought about this, what you think might be the hardest for you, what you think might be the easiest for you, or just what triggered you to laugh at me the most. If you're keen, I challenge you to do something like this, and if you do, please let me know. But thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned, make sure to subscribe because I've got a heap of cool stuff coming soon. Click that red button and keep creating. I'll see you guys in the next video.